Welcome to this explainer. So if you're a foreigner who just moved to Spain, you probably already know the culture, the food, and the weather are just absolutely fantastic. But you also probably know that the bureaucracy, well, it can feel like a total labyrinth. Today, we're going to demystify one of the most notoriously complex administrative processes out there. We're giving you a really clear, highly practical roadmap to registering your non-EU car right here in Spain. We're skipping the theory entirely and diving straight into the actual practical steps you need to take to get your car legally on the road.
All right, let's quickly run through our agenda for unlocking those Spanish license plates. First, quick start and temporary plates. Then, Step 1, Customs or AAET. Step 2 is the ITV inspection. Steps 3 and 4 cover the taxes. Step 5 is DGT registration. And finally, we'll wrap up with a final document checklist.
Okay, Section 1. Quick start and temporary plates. Right, so if you are bringing a car from outside the European Union, you are probably wondering how on earth you're supposed to survive the 1 to 2 months this entire registration process usually takes. You have a car, you need to commute to work, you have to go grocery shopping, but you don't have Spanish plates yet. What do you actually do?
Well, here is a massive pro tip for you. You absolutely do not have to leave your car parked in a garage for 2 months. You can simply request placas verdes provisionales. These are temporary green plates. They allow you to legally drive your car for 2 full months while you're busy processing the paperwork we're about to discuss. And hey, if the bureaucracy takes a bit longer than expected, you can actually extend them. Before we jump into Step 1, you really need to understand the playing field here. Keep in mind, this is what's known as a mixed procedure. That means some steps, like dealing with the AET, which is customs, can be done completely online, sitting in your pajamas using your digital clav or a customs broker. But other steps, you strictly have to show up in person. Oh, and there is a massive exemption to note right now. If you're a Ukrainian citizen with temporary protection, you can use the transfer of residence regime with Form 05 or Form 06. Doing this completely waives your VIT, import duties, and the IEDMT registration tax. I mean, we are literally talking thousands of euros in savings here. So, the crucial takeaway is that this maze actually has a finite exit. We just need to conquer these 5 sequential steps: customs, the safety inspection, 2 different taxes, and the final registration. 3 government bodies, 2 taxes, 1 final goal.
Moving on to Section 2, Step 1, Customs, or the AEAT. Because your car is coming from outside the EU, it's officially treated as an import. Your main action here is to file a specific document called the DUA at the AEAT. Unless you qualify for that exemption we just talked about, definitely prepare your wallet. You are going to need to pay a 21% VAT plus an import duty of around 10%. It's a pretty heavy hit, for sure. But doing this unlocks your first essential key item, the H1 certificate, and you absolutely cannot proceed without this piece of paper.
Let's look at Section 3, Step 2, ITV inspection.
So, with your H1 in hand, Step 2 requires you to prove this non-EU vehicle is actually safe to drive on Spanish roads. This is the ITV inspection. You physically have to show up at an ITV station with the car, along with a very specific stack of documents. You're going to need the original registration certificate from your home country, that H1 certificate you literally just got from customs, and the sales contractor invoice to prove you own it. But here's the tricky part. You also need a COC, a certificate of conformity showing the car meets EU standards. Now, if your non-EU car doesn't have a COC, you'll need what's called an homologación individual, or an individual homologation. Just a heads up, an engineer will have to do this for you, and it's going to set you back anywhere between 200 and 500 euros, right on top of the standard 50 euro ITV fee.
And the reward for surviving Step 2? It's pretty great. Once the inspectors are happy, you get to walk away with your Ficha Técnica Reducida, which is the Spanish reduced technical sheet. Think of this as basically the official birth certificate for your car here in Spain. All right, Section 4, Steps 3 and 4, taxes. These next couple of steps are all about paying the mandatory local and national vehicle taxes. Step 3 is the IEDMT, that's the national registration tax. You are going to file Form 576 for this one, and the amount you pay is dictated strictly by your car's CO2 emissions. So, if you drive a super clean car or an EV that emits under 120 grams per kilometer, you pay 0%, literally nothing. But as those emissions go up, the tax hits harder, jumping from 4.75% all the way up to a really hefty 14.75% of the vehicle's value if it emits 200 grams or more.
Let's move right along to Step 4,
Honestly, this one is much simpler and a lot cheaper. It's the IVTM, which is the municipal tax. You don't pay this to the national government, you pay it directly to your local town hall, your ayuntamiento. It's an annual tax that usually runs somewhere between 70 and 110 euros a year, depending on your city and the horsepower of your car. You just pay it once to register, and then you'll get a bill in the mail every spring.
Section 5. Step 5. DGT registration.
We have finally reached the final boss of our entire bureaucratic journey, the DGT, or the Directorate General for Traffic. To clear this step, you must show up in person at the Jefatura Provincial, the provincial traffic office. You're going to be submitting Form 9050, but hear me loud and clear on this one. Do not just walk in. A cita previa, a prior appointment, is strictly required. If you show up without a cita previa, they will literally turn you away at the door, no matter how perfectly organized your paperwork is.
Now let's talk about the exact fee you will pay right at the DGT desk. It's known as TASA 1.1, and it costs precisely 99.77 euros. Handing over this money, along with your giant mountain of approved paperwork, finally earns you the ultimate prize, your official Spanish registration certificate, and the authorization to go print your actual Spanish license plates.
Section 6. Final document checklist.
Okay, before your DGT appointment, let's do a final inventory check. This is the ultimate stack of paperwork you're going to need. Your tie to prove who you are, your Padrón certificate to prove where you actually live in Spain, that H1 certificate from customs, the feature techie from your ITV inspection, the receipts proving you paid both the IEDMT and IVTM taxes, your proof of purchase like a contract or invoice, and finally, the original registration from your home country. Bring absolutely all of this and you will successfully beat the Spanish bureaucracy.
So, once you finally screw those new Spanish plates onto your car, the beautiful open roads of Iberia are officially yours to explore. But just a quick reminder, administrative rules and fees, well, they can and do change. This explainer is just informational guidance to get you oriented, not legal advice, okay? Always verify the latest requirements directly with the official source, the DGT. But honestly, once you master this labyrinth, you kind of have to ask yourself, if you can conquer the Spanish traffic authority, what other impossible bureaucratic mountains are you completely ready to climb in your new life abroad? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.
That was a quick overview. On our website you'll find step-by-step guides to many procedures, the Padrón, the health card, the NIE, the tie, legalization, and more. The link is in the description. And if you get stuck, message our Telegram bot. We'll walk you through for free, step by step.